Dalner with AB Boxing News. I'm here with the great Vergil Hunter. How's everything, Coach?
Everything's fine. You?
Good, good, good. An intense press conference today. Seems like Dominic Brazil composed himself very well, like a gentleman. What is something you guys have to work on for one Deontay Wilder, knowing that he's not a traditional boxer?
Well, you have to work on what he brings to the table. That's unpredictability uh, and different things, the ebbs and flows of the fight. He has to be prepared for it. So that's what we're working on in camp, and hopefully it manifests itself the night of the fight.
Knowing that Dominic Brazil had a big fight, couple fights ago against one Anthony Joshua, I'm assuming you analyzed that fight. What are some of the things he could have done better in that fight and in the road to a Wilder fight now on May 18th?
Well, I think that fight was a little too soon for him. He was in the position to get the fight, but whether or not he was experience-wise to prepare for the fight, that was the question. So it showed that night. He understood, but he learned from that, and he learned that there's different levels in the sport. So he went about his business to try to attain that level for himself personally.
Knowing that you've been training great fighters like the Bertles of the world, Andre Wars, but it seemed like when you train at heavyweights, I'm assuming it's very different than other weight class and fighters. Can you comment a little bit on that, the contrast when training at heavyweight compared to other fighters?
It is much difference. It's not such a reliance on speed. It's not such a reliance on reflexes, although they're necessary in that game. The emphasis is power. The emphasis is fundamentals, understanding what you have and the size of the athlete that you have and progressing from there.
Let's talk about last Saturday, one ERROL Spence, Mikey Garcia. ERROL Spence looked dominant as I don't want to say people were surprised, but he showed something new. Many of the bad marks on Mikey Garcia is that his career is over. One Timothy Bradley said that his career may be done. Do you agree with that statement, Mr. Vergil?
Well, I think the future holds the answer to that. But I think it all depends on the motivation and who he has for his next challenge. It would be hard, maybe premature, to say that he's done. Only the future can tell. I can't speak for that.
With that performance, do you think he belongs at least at 147 with the Sean Porters of the world, Danny Garcia's, a Thurman, a Pacquiao? Is that something that you see Mike at least having a better chance in winning a fight?
Well, I think his brother said, Robert said that he'd like to see him at 140, maybe 135, and I think that he should follow the advice of his corner and not put himself in a position where he's always outsized and overcome. I mean, Errol showed a blueprint that night, and that blueprint can catch up for him against him into the next fight. So I think he should be at a weight class where it's better for him, where he can compete physically as far as height-wise, reach-wise, and his experience should take care of the rest.
Lastly, two parts. One, would you like to see one Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao? And lastly, break down that fight, how that plays out.
That would be a good fight for the fans, a good fight for Errol, a good fight for Manny. I see Errol overpowering Manny at this stage, but at the same time, I see Manny putting up maybe a little more competitive fight than Mikey did since he's been at the division for a while. But I favor Errol heavily.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Virgil Hunter. Hope to see you soon. Good luck May 18 with Dominic Brazil. Thank you.